everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rin. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today, let's paint another watercolor spread together. I had this sketch I did in my sketchbook of these birds, and then I drew these empty squares with the intention to practice things in each one of them that I struggle painting and drawing in general a little bit, but in typical Rin fashion, we're going to start off with the easy stuff because that's just how I like to do things. So we're starting off with these birds. Shout out to my brother for the color suggestions for this bird. He suggested doing blue and yellow, so I did blue and yellow. I started with my vintage pastels palette, and I ended up going back over a lot of those colors with colors out of my Winsor and Newton palette, just to have a little bit more vibrancy. In my mind, I wanted this spread to be very bright and very colorful. And the vintage pastels were just a little bit too muted to achieve that look. So I ended up layering this more than what I had intended, but I am really happy that it turned out as well as it did. And then just going in and painting the branch with, of course, brown, and then green for the leaves in a minute here. There was like no special inspiration behind this painting. I like to draw birds a lot. I've discovered I really like drawing birds a lot and painting birds a lot. I think they're a lot of fun to do fun colors and fun color combinations, and birds are really pretty. So I don't know, I just felt like drawing birds one day, and so I drew birds and was like, hey, I should paint them. And then here I am using these awesome glitter dots my parents got me. I'll have them linked in the description. They are off of Etsy. They are really beautiful and just add so much sparkle and glitter to this page in particular, and anytime I've used them, I love using them so much. And then this bird, I decided I wanted to paint her green and pink just for some more color and contrast. Her, I did really like using the vintage pastels palette on. I think I did end up mixing it a little bit though with the Winsor and Newton palette. As you can see, I am using that here just again for some more vibrancy. Yeah, I don't really know what to talk about in this video. There was, like I said, nothing. I just felt like painting birds. I didn't really have any, super interesting backstory to this particular sketch. I guess I just wanted to paint something tropical. I really like tropical vibes. So, what have you guys been up to? How's your life going? Let me know in the comments down below. Are you guys doing good? I always appreciate your comments. I'm sorry, sometimes it takes me a little bit to respond to them. I have really bad social anxiety, so sometimes I just overthink things, and then it takes me longer to respond than I wanted to. Also, quickly, here my cat decided she wanted to help me paint, so you can see her on the side here. Here are little toe beans. She's adorable. I love her so much, except I did kind of mess up this painting a little bit. Thankfully, it was able to be fixed, and here she's helping me by chewing on the ribbon and just being overall adorable and distracting, and she finally laid on my lap, but she's super cute, so I thought I'd show her in the video. Anyway, sorry when it takes me a while to respond to comments. Even though I have social anxiety, I still feel so appreciative and so grateful for all the very kind comments you guys leave me. You guys leave me such kind and thoughtful comments, and they always give me so much encouragement. So thank you very, very much. How have you been? Please do let me know down below. I've been, well, it's getting warm where I'm living, so I have mixed feelings about that. I like summer, but I also like the cold months as well. Anyway, I'm painting these flowers now, also with my vintage pastels palette, as you can see right there, and then just layering everything, letting it dry, letting it dry. You'll see once we get a little bit farther into the painting, I bounce around a lot on this page because I did so much layering, which this paper, I feel like I constantly have to revise my opinion of this sketchbook, because I'm like, man, it doesn't hold up great with water. But then this painting, and particularly this water I'm painting right now, I did so many layers on this and it didn't pill or anything. So I don't know. This sketchbook, it heard me smack talking it, and it was like, no, I'm an amazing sketchbook, and it's just coming through, and you know, it's turned out to be well worth my purchase. And even though I think the paintings I'm doing would look better on actual watercolor paper, yes, mother, I know, I can hear her voice telling me, you need to buy paint on actual watercolor paper. And it's true, your paintings, your watercolor paintings will look so much better on actual watercolor paper. But if you like to have a sketchbook that is good for mixed media or is maybe less expensive, this sketchbook has held up really well, even if your paintings don't look as great as they would on actual watercolor paper. I am totally rambling. Also, is my calling in life just to paint fruit? Because I loved painting these oranges. Hands down, my favorite thing I painted on this page, this entire orange square, which by the way, isn't actually something I struggle with. I've painted oranges before and I like painting fruit a lot. So this was kind of a freebie little square. I don't struggle with that. The water I do kind of struggle with, and then later when we get to painting the square on the right side of the spread, that was like just purely beginner's luck, I guess. I'll talk about that when we get there. So anyway, yeah, I used my Winsor & Newton palette for this whole little orange scene, and also my Daniel Smith watercolor sample page. And I think that was it. I just did a lot of color mixing to get these particular shades of orange, and then also for the green. And then here I jump back to the water scene and I'm painting the beach now. And then I'm gonna let it dry here for a minute, and then I go back to the orange one. Right, I couldn't remember what I did next. This took me forever to paint, like this entire spread, because there was a lot of complicated things. So I feel like instead of actually practicing things I'm not skilled at painting, I more so just spent a lot of time practicing details, which is a lot of fun. I actually think detailed painting, even though it's something I avoid, is super enjoyable once I start doing it. I don't know, other artists have got to feel this way too. Like it feels very overwhelming, but then once I start, I'm like, no, this is actually a lot of fun. So back to this beach painting. Did the sand, and then while I was waiting for that to dry, I decided to go ahead and just line everything that was already dry, and I wanted to line the birds in purple just because I thought it would pop and contrast really nicely with the green and pink, and then also with the blue and yellow, which it did. I'm really happy about that decision. I think it turned out really nice. And then going in with my Posca pen for highlights, as I always do. Also, these birds are not based off of real birds at all. If somebody's like wondering like, what kind of birds are these? I drew them just purely out of my imagination. I didn't have a reference or anything for them. So they're just fun looking birds. I just wanted to do birds and make really fun line shapes, was kind of my thought process when I was drawing them. And then here I am drawing the water. This is the only way I know how to draw water, and I've only done it a couple times, so I kind of want to like practice this way a little bit before I branch out and learn how to draw learn how to draw water other ways. You guys know what I mean. Just to make sure kind of I have like my footing and make sure I at least understand one way of painting it. But this way is like super simple. You just draw a bunch of like squiggly shapes on top of your base color, and then kind of connect wherever the lines connect, you like round them and make them a little thicker, and then go over it with white, and then doing the same thing. And then I added glitter because I'm extra and just like glitter. Now this square I actually have something to talk about. I wanted to try and paint some kind of like plant in this particular square, and I ended up deciding to paint bamboo. Now I have oh my goodness, I had absolutely no idea what I was doing with this, so I feel like I'm just so thankful it turned out as well as it did at the end of it, because I'm not good at painting like environments and doing depth in that way, where there's things in the back and then things in the front as well, just to create that kind of depth. So I had like one reference image and just tried my best, and I'm super thankful that it turned out so good. I feel like the more I paint, the more I learn. If something, first off, trust the process, and then secondly, add a lot of values, like really light values and really dark values, and it's a lot more likely your painting will turn out looking good. That hasn't failed me yet, so I just tried to do that, and it thankfully did turn out really well. So yeah, this is how everything turned out. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching if you're still watching to the end. Let me know if there's anything you'd like to see me paint in a future video, and I will see you in the next one. Remember to be kind and stay cozy. Bye!